welcome to Freedom Fridays. I'm not Bishop Wiggins, I am Lady D, and I am your host for this session of Freedom Fridays. I am so excited about our guest today. Ladies in particular, especially like single mothers, listen, you are going to want to get yourself something to drink, grab your notepad, and get ready to take notes because our guest today is going to enlighten you on how to get free and how to move forward in your life and in your career. So let's get right into it. Our guest is Francisca Michaela. Now, I can't say the other part of her last name, but she's going to help us with that. Hey, Francesca.
Hi, Lady D.
I don't say Francisca, I say Francesca,
That's
right?
okay. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. But it is Francisca Michaela
Zola Meso.
Zola Meso.
There you go.
I got,
You got
Zola Meso. I'm gonna keep
Uh-huh.
keep practicing until I get it right. Okay.
You will.
Yeah. So listen, I am so excited that you are here,
Me too.
and thank you so much for agreeing to be a part of Freedom Fridays. You have an incredible story, and we're excited to be able to share that with our audience. Okay. So I want to start from way back, from the beginning, because with a name like yours, it's obvious
Yeah.
that you are from another part of the world, another country, in fact, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I'm from the Congo. It is in Central Africa. I came here when I was 9 years old. We first moved to North Carolina. Then I came here to finish up my high school year in Florida.
Wow. So you started in North Carolina and came. Now, what brought you to Florida?
My dad jobs offered.
Oh, okay. So you're really an African girl.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm so jealous.
Straight out of the Congo.
That's amazing. So from Africa to North Carolina, from North Carolina to Florida in your high school years to finish up high school. So you've been in Florida for how long now?
Probably, I would say probably 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. That's amazing, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So in Florida for 6 years. Now you're also a single mother.
Yes.
Yeah. How old's your baby?
She's turning 5 July 1st.
I can't believe
Yeah.
it because I remember when she was just
So
a little
tiny.
bitty thing dancing in the aisles at church and just attracting so much attention with her little cute self.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Michaela, that's not right, is it? Francesca.
Michaela's fine.
Francisca, Michaela, all of that. Okay.
All
So
together.
listen, let's get into the other part of your story. You've had a lot of transition going on over the last year, I would say. Everything from purchasing a home during COVID to leaving your job and transitioning from working for someone else to being an entrepreneur, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a lot.
It's
That's
a lot.
that's a lot. And so let's talk about this. Let's talk about your preparation for becoming a homeowner because that's huge, particularly as a single mother. That's huge. So let's talk about that a little bit. Talk about the process that you went through to become a homeowner.
Yeah. So first, I had to. You have to have the 2-year job history, and then I worked on my credit and also managed my finances.
Okay, you're going too fast.
Too fast.
In preparation for buying this house, you had to have consistent employment for 2 years. For at least 2. You guys got to get this. In preparation, you had to stay employed really at the same place
For 2
for a
years.
period of 2 years. You couldn't be flaking out and deciding you wasn't going to work no more and wasn't going to go to work. So you had a goal of purchasing this home, and you
Yeah.
worked at the same place. How long were you actually at your previous place of employment?
In August, it was going to make exactly 2 years. So it was actually probably a year and 8 months.
Okay.
And they was able to still let me get the loan.
Okay. Okay. And so you stayed at the same place for 2 years, and then secondly, you said you had to work on your credit.
Yeah.
Talk about that, please, because people don't realize what a big deal credit is.
It is. And I barely made it, but I'm here because you have to have at least a 650 to
Okay.
qualify for FHA loan. And then with that, I like to shop. So I had to stop shopping, stop using my credit cards. And, you know, as a single mom, sometimes you don't have money to pay bills. So it was a process. And through being faithful, tithing also helped me. Because I had issues tracking my money when I didn't tithe. So tithing and praying and actually being consistent, that's how I was able to manage my credit.
So tithing helped you to learn how that discipline of tithing will help you to become consistent in various areas of your life. But I want to back up again because you said you had to stop using your credit cards. So you didn't have the opportunity for just idle shopping. You had to be mindful of how you spent your money.
Yeah, my money, right.
Yeah. You had to manage your money. Did you put together a budget? Did you live on a budget? How did you do that?
I did. So, you know, of course, my 10% and then my bills, and then 10% also went to my savings. Yeah.
So you paid God, you took care of your bills, and you paid yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
So you had that 10-10-80 plan going on where you actually lived off of the 80, but 20%, 10% went to God, 10% went to your savings so that you could have the dollars necessary when it was time for you to close for your home.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I hope y'all are getting this because this is powerful stuff, okay? Okay, so listen, you had the job history and you did what you needed to do to get your credit history right. Is there anything else that you would like to share from your process of becoming a homeowner?
Yeah, just being consistent and not giving up, because it could be a little bit discouraging when you're looking for a home and other people are also looking at the house. Just be consistent, follow up with your plan, and be faithful.
Now, you bought a house during COVID.
Yes, ma'am.
During COVID. And there were some things that happened as it relates to down payment assistance, things of that nature. Share that real briefly as well.
Yeah. So I'm a single mom, so I do qualify for a down payment assistance, and that's something I was looking forward to. But during COVID, because a lot of people lost their job and the Orange County residents needed money to pay rent and then unemployment, everything that was going on, they took that program away. So from my understanding, all I had to do is come up with the closing costs. That completely changed to me having to come up with the closing costs and a down payment on top of that in order for me to get into the house.
Wow.
Yeah.
So your 20-80 plan or 80-20 plan became very important.
Yes,
now the
ma'am.
money that you had in savings, you needed all of that money
Right.
to be able to close on your home. And you successfully did that. Now, I understand that you have an anniversary date that is right here on top of
Yes.
us, right? So on June, 9th,
Ninth, yeah.
you celebrate 1 year as a homeowner. So
Homeowner.
right in the middle of COVID, you purchased a home,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Okay, so you purchased a home, and right after you purchased your home, something happened that is significant.
Yeah, so I purchased my home June 9th, and I believe it was July 18th. I quit my job. It was so hard.
Now, who does that, right?
It was so hard, yes.
Yeah, and it was hard for a number of reasons I can only imagine. Having been a single parent myself, every decision that you make, you realize that decision does not just affect you.
Right.
It affects your child or your children. And so I can only imagine what you went through in the process of deciding to quit your job. But you had a very good reason for quitting your job because you had already started in the business that you were going to launch once you so let's transition because you purchased a home. After purchasing your home, you quit your job a month and a half later, and you quit your job to launch your business. So the name of your business is?
My business is Amorphia, but a lot of people don't know I started my business to save up for the down payment for the home.
That was a side hustle.
It was. It was.
Your
I
side
never
hustle-
thought making soap will, get me here a year later.
A side hustle turned into a full-fledged business,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
Okay, so the
Yeah.
name of your business, and congratulations
Thank you.
on launching your business and on going full-time in your business, because
Yeah.
again, that's not an easy decision, I'm sure, as a single mom. But the name of your business is?
Amorphia.
Amorphia. Okay, and how do you, well, first let's talk about what you do in your business. You kind of briefly threw that out. What is your business?
So I make soap body washes, bars, oils, and sugar scrubs.
So you're the Black Bath and Body Works. Come on, girl.
Yes.
Come on, girl.
We started all in my kitchen.
All in your kitchen. And so there's another part to this story that we kind of left out, because you purchased the house, you launched your business, and then you ended up having to move out of the house because the business got so big.
Okay, talking about making room.
Come on, come on, come on. So talk about it. Talk about it.
So, yeah, we moved in June. I moved out January 2021.
Wow.
6-7 months later,
Okay, but you didn't just leave the house. You
No.
moved out and turned the house into
a warehouse.
a warehouse. You're using the house that you purchased
Yeah.
to store products for your business because you couldn't find a storage unit.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So you're making all of this luscious body wash and soaps and scents and things like that that we women dearly,
Need.
dearly love. Yeah, and you're selling these items how?
Strictly online. So everybody placed the order online. We make them, package, ship them out. That's how we doing it.
Wow, and you're saying we. So do you have a team yet? Come
I
on,
do.
come on now.
A team
Come
of
on.
7.
Listen, listen, girl. Listen, she's got 7 employees. Do y'all hear me? Come on now.
7.
You went from just doing this as a side hustle, as they say, to having a full business and staff in order to be able to meet the demand of your business.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
I consider that a successful business. Do you consider it successful?
It's pretty successful.
It's pretty successful. You're able to take care of yourself, take care of your daughter, pay your mortgage, pay your rent where you actually live, and you have 7 employees. That is pretty remarkable. Pretty remarkable. So, one more shift here. Here we go. So, we consider it a successful business. Do you have a definition, or what does the word success mean to you?
Unending achievement. I feel like success doesn't end. So let's go ahead and just play it out with my situation. Now that I was able to move out and we have the employees, I still need a warehouse that's bigger than my house. So when you reach something, you keep working towards something that's better. And then you also, if you're in success, you have to be in a position to help other win.
And so success is not a destination, it's more of a journey.
Yeah, it
So you
is.
may be successful on this level, but as the visionary for the business, you're already looking at what's
Next
next
level.
and how do we get to this next place. And you have people that are working the business, so you don't have to focus on the day-to-day as much.
Right.
You're able to, so you've staffed yourself pretty well.
Yes, ma'am.
And I like to say we staff our weaknesses. And so in some cases, not only do we staff our weaknesses, we hire people that can do things that will free us to be able to get to that next place.
Right,
So
to work on the next goal.
yeah, that's amazing. So you're already looking at, you need a warehouse that is bigger than the house that you purchased,
Yeah.
which means at the point that you find a warehouse, now you got to
We
figure out,
out.
oh, now you got to figure out what you're going to do with the house. We're going to sell the house and make the
No,
profit.
we're not going to sell the
gonna
house. We're
keep
bringing
that.
generation wealth.
Come on now. She's creating generational
Yeah,
wealth.
we're
I
keeping
love
it.
that. I love that. Love that. Okay, so success. We've got that established. You have some principles for success. So let's share a few of those with our audience. As an entrepreneur, and I have to say, I am just so proud of you.
Thank you.
I really am. Little girl from the Congo.
Yes,
that come over here making
ma'am.
soap and done become super successful. Listen, you guys don't know, but you need to find her business online. And at the end, we'll give you that information so that you can support her business, because we want you to be super successful. We
Thank
want you to
you.
accomplish all of your goals. Okay? So, principles for success. Give us one.
My favorite one is enjoying your own comfort zone. That's my favorite one.
Girl, okay, wait. Enjoying
Your own comfort zone.
your not your comfort zone, your uncomfort zone. Now, that is okay, you can talk about it because I can't.
Okay. So just, that's when you learn the most about yourself. That's when you learn what you're good at and what you need to work on, and that's life changing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
you're enjoying your struggle. It's hard. It's easier for me to say it now, but that's what literally make you who you are. That's what shape your future.
So as long as we are operating in our comfort zone, we don't grow.
We don't.
We're not learning anything. So it wasn't until you took that leap of faith and left your job and just threw yourself out there in this entrepreneurial ship that you started to grow and you started to learn and you started to accomplish. Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah, and it was also when I had them pass through bills as a single mom, being uncomfortable. That's what kept me going.
Yeah.
Because I wanted something better.
Yeah. So you had to keep pushing. You had to keep working. You had to keep striving because you had too much on the line.
Right.
So enjoying your uncomfort zone. That's huge. Nobody wants to be uncomfortable, Michaela.
But it's needed.
It's needed. Yeah. Okay, so that's the first one. What's the next one?
Having the ability to adapt.
Wow.
You know?
So talk about that. Come on.
Just COVID. A lot of businesses were shut down, and then you had to convert to online. So having the ability to adapt will get you a very long way. And then times changes with social media marketing. If you know how to adapt to the new technique or the new program that social media put out, you can take advantage of it before anyone else does.
Wow.
Yeah.
The ability to adapt. The key word, one of the big words during COVID in particular was pivot. We were all told that we needed to pivot to another platform. Even in ministry, we had to pivot. We went from having face-to-face services in the sanctuary on Sunday mornings to having to pivot to virtual services online. A lot of businesses, as you said, were closed. And I watched some of those businesses that had never done carry out on a big level convert to having to do that. So your business, when you launched it, you never launched in a traditional way. Right? You immediately launched in that virtual platform. Is that correct?
Yeah. And I took advantage of it during COVID.
Wow.
Because everybody was doing online shopping.
And everybody is still doing a lot of online shopping because once you convert to that, I mean, I'm ordering my groceries online.
Yeah, me too.
I haven't been to a grocery store in a while. So it's much easier to do what you need to do when you allow yourself to adapt and adjust to whatever's happening at the moment. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. You have to be able to adapt. What's number 3?
Believe in yourself.
That's big.
It is.
That's big. Yeah.
You should be your number one supporter. Because we look for support when it comes to friends and family, but friends and family can only get you so far. Friends and family can't make you a million. Strangers will.
Yeah.
But if you believe in yourself, you have the courage that you need in order for you to reach out to strangers, and the courage that you need to keep on working and to perfect your craft.
You've got to believe in the vision that you have. A lot of times people will have an idea and they will question whether it's a good idea or not. One of the things that I like to tell people a lot of times is you need to develop your why. You need to develop your why. Why are you doing this? And every time I look at you, I see that little girl in your face, your daughter. I do. I see her in your face. And so when you start talking about believing in yourself, one of the things you said earlier was you had to do certain things because you were a single mother and you had to take care of your daughter. And so in believing in yourself, you developed a reason for what you were doing as well, which made you just kind of keep pressing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that also come into like I knew my vision. Even telling my family members, I quit my job in July. They probably didn't find out till November because I wasn't afraid to tell them, but I didn't want to hear the negative feedback.
Okay, hold it.
Yeah.
Y'all got to hear this. You got to hear this. Be careful who you tell.
Yeah.
Because you're not always going to get the support that you need at that time. You didn't even tell your family that you had left your job because you didn't want the negative feedback. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's huge. Go ahead.
So at the time, if I told them, it's like, you just bought a house. Who quit the job after buying a house, right? But they didn't see what I saw. Yeah.
Do
But
they
now
see it now?
Yes, they see it now. They most definitely see it now. They are supportive. And when my mom was hurt, she was like, how could you quit your job and not tell us? And when I finally explained it to her, She understood. Just like when it came time for me to move out of my house, she didn't understand.
Right.
She didn't understand. She was like, just try to make the best out of it. But I'm like, my house is full of boxes, full of products. You know, it's time. Just when you believe in yourself, you know when it's time to move, and you know the right move to make.
Wow, that is so powerful. I remember, again, as a single mom myself, I remember when I left my job. I didn't have conversations with people about it. God had been pressing me for 2 years to leave that job, and when I finally made the decision to leave, I didn't have I had no clue where I was going. I just knew that it was time for me to go. And when you have that pressing and you have a vision, that gives you everything you need to be able to say, okay, God, I'm going to trust you. And I'm going to step out here and I'm going to believe that you're going to give me what I need to be successful. So that's 3. Do you have one more? We're going to close with one more.
One more, I'd probably say just continue learning and working on your craft. Just because at the time when I first started my business, it was never a soap making business. I was selling hair and hair products. And then I started soap and I saw that the soap were selling more. And that goes back to having the ability to adapt. So I had to make the decision to really give away what I love, which was making the shea butter, and to focus on soap and study the soap. And that's what took off. Now that I basically built my brand with the soap, I can add the shea butter back on now because people already trust me with the soap. And that would probably just be an extra, just another add-on.
Yeah, this sounds like Carol's Daughter. That you know that brand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
their story.
First. That was my vision.
Yeah, they have continued to add to their brand. Once you've developed the brand, you just keep and you just keep adding to it. But you said never stop learning. And let me just tell you, you are, I don't know, the 4th or 5th interview that we've had, and I believe every single individual that has been on this platform for Freedom Friday has said the same thing. One of my firm beliefs is this: when you stop learning, you start dying.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as being stagnant. You have to keep learning in order to continue to live and to thrive. And a lot of times it's not necessarily going to a class to keep learning. Can you talk about maybe some of the things you did to continue learning and to continue growing in this area? How did you do that?
At first, when I started, I didn't have the money to pay for a class. So I got on YouTube, YouTube and Google. If you don't have the money, those should be your 2 best friends. And then now that I'm able to pay for a class, I'll pay somebody that I look up to. I have a mentor. Brandy's actually my mentor, but then a marketing mentor outside of Brandy, a social media marketing mentor. Reading books, staying up at night, just doing your research. Studying other oils, other ingredients, other vendors, just that whole process of just getting better at what you do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, listen, I want to say thank you again. And before we close, I want you to share how our viewers can get these amazing products that you are creating. Because we all want to support. We want to see you just soar. We want to see you be super successful. So just look into the camera and tell them how they can get these products.
Well, you can buy them online at Omorphia LLC, OMORPHIA LLC.com. And you can also follow us on Instagram, which is at Shop Omorphia. And that's how you can support.
Listen, thank you again so much for being here and for sharing and for being so open about your journey all the way from the Congo to success in your business here in the United States, in Orlando. How about that? As a member of the Hope Church, matter of fact. And so thank you again so much for being a part of this broadcast.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
We are so blessed to have you. Listen, I know that you have been blessed. I have been. I mean, she said some things that just smacked me upside my head. And one of the things that she said is you have to believe in yourself. Even when nobody else is there supporting you, you have to believe in yourself. You are enough. God has given you what you need in order to succeed and to be free. One of the things that I believe about freedom is it gives you flexibility. It gives you the ability to say no to things that you don't want to do. It also gives you the ability to control your schedule. You have the ability to say, I'm going here and I'm going there, and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And so it is our prayer that you would take these principles and you would apply them to your life, so that you would begin to walk in success and you will begin to walk in the freedom that God has designed for you. Listen, we're getting out of here. Thank you so much for